Hello, hello. I want to say thank you for joining me. And I have a topic that I absolutely love to talk about. It is, how quickly do you review the books of a potential client? And then once you do that, do you base your initial assessment? Does that affect your fees and what you charge them? Are you going to go ahead and give them a fixed price in a proposal? So what is your flow when a potential new client comes to you and they're interested in you doing their books and managing their financials? What I know is traditionally, it tends to be done during the free initial consultation. And yes, that is an effective way, efficient way to enroll a new client. But I also found that although it's speedy and has efficiency, on the back end, you find that there's a high cost to that. Has that been your experience too? And if so, please let me know below. But basically, what I find is that what appears to be at first glance simple, straightforward, maybe you ask your client a couple questions, and from their point of view, it's very, very basic. But then once you actually get into the project, it is a whole different story. What you thought was going to be easy, quick, and manageable turns into a hot mess. And there is a price to pay when this happens. It requires more time than you expected, which means that it affects your workflow and some other things need to be pushed aside, or maybe you have to work additional hours longer than expected to be able to get this done in time. Because it's not as easy as you thought it would be, it raises frustration. And then you realize that you actually undercharged for the project. And what do you do then? So those are some of the things that I see as common errors when you're quickly reviewing the books and then enrolling them into working with you. It just is going to add frustration. You might not end up with a great client, and you know that you have just lowered your profits because you didn't charge for it. But there is a solution that exists. And maybe you're already doing this, maybe you've already heard about it, but it is doing a paid diagnostic review. This is what removes all of those headaches and turns those nightmare cleanups into what I call your personal ATM machine, because they are highly profitable for your firm. And the other thing about the paid diagnostic review is that it is what I call a standalone product. Means that you're now compensated for something you previously gave away for free. And if you find during that short engagement, which is like a test drive, that someone isn't a good fit for you, you are not obligated to enroll them into the next phase of working with you, which would typically be the cleanup project. The paid diagnostic review has high value, and it is, once again, a standalone product. You are not obligated to move them into the next phase of cleaning up their books. And because of that, I wanted to share some benefits of that paid diagnostic review, especially if this is new for you. But if you've been doing it, once again, please let me know what you've seen as the benefits. Would love to hear what your experience has been. But the 7 things I want to share with you is, number 1, you actually get to assess the books before you get started on your timeline without being rushed. Because of that, that's number 2. Now that you've been able to do it on your timeline instead of having a quick scan, you're able to actually realize what are the problems, how much of a mess are their books actually from your point of view, and looking at it as to how you would do things to get things up to speed, as opposed to relying on the potential client's diagnosis of it, and then realizing that what they said and the reality are 2 very, very different things. The other thing is, because you're the expert regarding financials and bookkeeping and they're not, you're the one that ought to be determining the complexity and doing that without relying on the client's assessment. That's number 3. Number 4 is you're now getting paid to do a review. Something you were previously giving away for free becomes a new stream of revenue. Number 5 is you're able to offer an accurate proposal and price for the cleanup project. Number 6 is you are now communicating the value of your services. It actually starts to position you as a consultant instead of a technician, which has greater value. And then number 7 is you get to take the test drive. Actually, you both get to take the test drive. They get to see what it's like working with you. You get to see what it's like working with them before either one of you are stuck in a long-term engagement of working together. And then you have to undo that. So those are the 7 benefits of offering a paid diagnostic assessment before diving into the cleanup project or into an ongoing monthly engagement. I believe that having this process and the workflow that goes with it is a system, and systems, in my opinion, give you freedom because of the fact that once you have the system in place, you can then pass it on to someone else in your team. You don't actually have to do all the technical work yourself. You can do the high-level advisory services. You can do the business development. You can do the parts that you absolutely love. And for some of my clients, they're firm owners, but they love the project. However, they don't like doing the monthly bookkeeping. So it's different ways that you can apply this once it's a system to your firm so that it works for you and it's a win-win. The other thing is that by doing it this way, it significantly raises the value of your accounting firm. So in my profitable cleanup formula, my students learn how to bring a paid diagnostic review into their firm in order to reap the benefits, have it be something that's not just efficient, but effective with removing those headaches, whether it's the headaches of a complicated cleanup project or the headaches of a non-ideal client, and be able to actually turn their cleanup projects into their personal ATM machine. I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about a paid diagnostic review? Are you already doing it? What have you seen as the results of doing it? Is it something that's been on your mind? Is this new to you? Would love to hear from you as to your thoughts about this. Please go ahead and let me know below. And also, please share some feedback. What is it that you took away? What is it that you agree with? Does it validate something you're already doing? What is maybe one thing that you can implement right now to raise the level of services for your firm and be able to really separate yourself from others, really raising the bar? Would love to hear from you and what your thoughts are about a paid diagnostic review. Loren Fogelman, showing accounting professionals how to double their income, working half the time.